Chapter 5. The Unseen Angle. The taste of burnt sugar lingers in the air, a faint reminder of the exploding cotton candy cart from yesterday's showdown between the hero Crimson Comet and some low-level pyrokinetic calling himself Ember. The cleanup crews are already out, scrubbing the scorch marks from the neon-slicked streets of Neo-Shibuya. But the lingering smell and the memory is enough to make my stomach churn. Even heroes have their off days. Collateral damage is just part of life. At least, that's what they say. I adjust the weight of my camera bag, the familiar heft a comfort against the uneasy feeling creeping up my spine. Today's assignment: routine patrol. Check for superpowered incidents, document, report. Simple. Except lately, nothing feels simple. Ever since yesterday, I can't shake off the feeling that I'm missing something, a part of the picture that no one is showing, so many unseen angles. Suzaku, ever the ray of sunshine, bounces beside me, his bright red hair practically vibrating with energy. All right, Sora, think we'll see any action today? Maybe catch a glimpse of the legendary Captain Avalon? I heard he's back in town. I manage a weak smile. Maybe. Just try to keep your hero worship in check, okay? Remember the non-interference rule. Hey, rules are rules, Suzaku says, holding up his hands in mock surrender. Besides, you of all people should know that after yesterday. Ouch. He doesn't mean to be harsh, but his words hit home. Kenji's reprimand from yesterday still stings. Saving those injured civilians cost me his good graces, and probably a few points in my overall academy evaluation. But it's hard to regret helping when I think back to the woman's face, pale and coughing, reaching for my hand. Let's just focus on the assignment, I mutter, pulling out my standard issue camera. We start our patrol, weaving through the crowded streets. Neo-Tokyo is a sensory overload, a symphony of flashing lights, blaring advertisements, and the constant hum of hovercars zipping between skyscrapers. It's beautiful, in a chaotic way, but it's also a constant reminder of the power that surges beneath the surface. After an hour of uneventful patrolling, we reach the heart of the entertainment district. Holographic idols dance above the storefronts, hawking everything from energy drinks to supersuits. Suddenly, a shrill scream cuts through the noise. Help! Someone help! My instincts kick in. Camera raised, I follow Suzaku as we push through the crowd towards the sound. In a narrow alleyway, a young woman cowers against the wall, her face pale with terror. A hulking figure, clad in ripped leather and sporting a crude metallic mask, stands over her. Give me your money or I'll... He snarls, a crackling energy emanating from his hands. Looks like we found our action, Suzaku whispers, already positioning himself for a good angle. This guy is definitely powered. The energy crackling around his hands is probably some sort of electrokinesis. He's not a major villain, but he's a threat to this woman. As the mugger moves closer to the woman, I zoom in, capturing his every move. Part of me is screaming, "Do something!" But the Academy's training is ingrained. Observe, document, report, non-interference. The mugger raises a hand, electricity arcing between his fingers. The woman flinches, letting out another scream. I grit my teeth, fighting the urge to intervene. Instead, I focus on framing the shot, capturing the fear in the woman's eyes, the menace in the mugger's stance. This is what the world needs to see. The reality of the situation when heroes aren't around. Suddenly, a blur of red and gold slams into the mugger, sending him sprawling against the opposite wall. Crimson Comet, of course. He stands over the dazed mugger, his crimson suit gleaming under the neon lights. "Not so tough now, are you?" he booms, striking a heroic pose. The crowd erupts in cheers, camera phones flashing. Crimson Comet basks in the adulation, offering a charming wink to the woman he rescued. It's all so perfect. Too perfect. Something about the whole scene feels staged, like a carefully choreographed play. The mugger seemed almost docile, his attacks telegraphed and weak. Suzaku is practically buzzing with excitement, snapping photos like a kid in a candy store. Amazing! Did you see that? Crimson Comet is incredible. I lower my camera, a seed of doubt planted firmly in my mind. Yeah, incredible, I say, my voice flat. Later, back at the academy dorm, I can't shake the feeling that something is off. I pull up the footage I shot of the incident, reviewing it frame by frame. The mugger's movements are clumsy, almost hesitant. Crimson Comet arrives a little too conveniently, his entrance perfectly timed for maximum dramatic impact. "What's got you so glued to that screen?" Suzaku asks, flopping onto his bed. "Just reviewing the Crimson Comet incident," I reply, not taking my eyes off the footage. "Something feels wrong." "Wrong? What are you talking about? He saved that woman." "I know, but it felt staged, like the mugger was playing a part." Suzaku scoffs. "You're being paranoid, Sora. You're just jealous because he got to be the hero." Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm just letting my frustration from yesterday cloud my judgment. But I can't let it go. "I'm going to look into this," I say, my voice firm. "There's something going on, and I'm going to find out what it is." "Knock yourself out," Suzaku says, grabbing his gaming console. "But don't say I didn't warn you when Kenji catches you snooping around." I ignore his warning and grab my laptop. The Academy's network is heavily guarded, but I know a few tricks to get around the security protocols. It's not ideal, and if I get caught, I'm in serious trouble. But the need to know, to uncover the truth, outweighs the risk. I start by searching for other incidents involving Crimson Comet. I analyze the footage from dozens of battles, looking for patterns, inconsistencies. It takes hours, fueled by lukewarm coffee and sheer determination. Finally, I find something. In several of the videos, the villains seem oddly cooperative. They hold back their strongest attacks, allowing Crimson Comet to deliver the finishing blow with theatrical flair. In one instance, I noticed the same masked mugger fighting a different hero in a different location. His mask has been dented, but it's definitely him. My heart pounds in my chest. This isn't just a coincidence. Someone is manipulating these events, staging them to make the heroes look better. But who? And why? I need help. And I know exactly who to turn to. Yuna's workshop is a chaotic symphony of wires, circuits, and half-finished gadgets. The air smells of solder and ozone, a familiar and comforting aroma. She's hunched over a workbench, her pink hair pulled back in a messy bun, her oversized glasses perched precariously on her nose. "Hey, Yuna," I say, knocking on the open door. She glances up, her green eyes widening in surprise. "Sora? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be on patrol?" "I need your help," I say, holding up my laptop. "I think I've uncovered something big, and I need your expertise." I explain my suspicions about Crimson Comet and the staged battles, showing her the evidence I've gathered. Yuna listens intently, her brow furrowed in concentration. When I'm finished, she takes a deep breath. "This is serious. If what you're saying is true, it could shatter public trust in heroes." "I know," I say, my voice low. "That's why I need your help. You're the best with this kind of stuff. Can you analyze the footage? See if you can find any digital tampering or other evidence of manipulation?" Yuna hesitates for a moment, then nods. "All right, I'll do it. But if we get caught, I'll take full responsibility, I promise." We spend the next several hours poring over the footage, Yuna's fingers flying across the keyboard. She uses a series of custom-built algorithms to analyze the video and audio, searching for anomalies. Finally, she stops, her eyes wide with excitement. "I found something. Look at this frame." She zooms in on a seemingly innocuous shot of Crimson Comet delivering a flying kick. "See this subtle distortion in the background? It's only visible for a fraction of a second, but it's there. It looks like they use some sort of energy field to slow down the villain's movements, making him easier to hit." My jaw drops. "So they're literally rigging the battles?" "Looks like it," Yuna says, nodding grimly. "And there's more. I found traces of digital manipulation in the audio. subtle changes to the crowd's reaction to make it sound more enthusiastic. We have the proof. Solid, undeniable evidence that someone is manipulating the public's perception of heroes. A thrill of adrenaline courses through me. We've uncovered something huge, something that could change everything. But the thrill is quickly replaced by a wave of apprehension. What do we do with this information? Who can we trust? We need to expose this, I say, my voice trembling slightly. The public has a right to know the truth. I agree, Yuna says. But how? If we go to the academy, they'll probably just try to cover it up. They're too invested in maintaining the status quo. Then we have to go outside the academy, I say, my mind racing. We need to find someone who can help us get this information to the public. We brainstorm for hours, tossing around ideas, weighing the risks and benefits. It's getting late. The sky outside Yuna's workshop fading from neon pink to a muted gray. Finally, Yuna sighs, leaning back in her chair. This is insane, Sora. We're talking about taking on the entire hero establishment. It's dangerous. I know, I say, meeting her gaze. But it's the right thing to do, isn't it? Yuna looks at me for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Then she smiles, a small, hesitant smile that sends a jolt of warmth through my chest. Yeah, it is, she says. Okay, I'm in. But we need to be careful. Someone is going to come looking for us, sooner or later. As we continue to discuss a plan, I feel a bond forming with Yuna. It's more than just friendship, more than just admiration. In this moment, her sharp mind and unwavering resolve are something to behold. I see a genuine goodness and kindness, and I know I couldn't have done any of this without her. You know, I say hesitantly, I really appreciate you helping me with this, Yuna. I know it's a big risk. She blushes, looking away. Don't mention it. I believe in what you're doing, Sora. There's a comfortable silence that hangs in the air. It's close, maybe too close for comfort, but the spark has lit, and I can't deny that something is definitely happening between us. But I can't lose focus. I have to think. What are we going to do? I say. She looks back at me with a spark of determination in her eyes. We fight back, Sora. We show them the unseen angle. But first, we need to get this information out there. The thought hangs in the air. Everything that we've done up until this point carries with it the threat of expulsion. Dread fills my gut. What if this isn't worth it? What if I'm wrong, or worse? What if I am right, and this destroys everything that this academy stands for? Is it better to stay silent? The face of the injured woman flashes in my mind. I won't be silent, I say. The next morning I walk into the academy training room, my heart pounding in my chest. Kenji stands in the center, his arms crossed, his expression as stern as ever. Sora, he says, his voice flat. I want to see you after training. In my office. My stomach drops. He knows. Somehow, he knows. I try to focus on the training exercises, but my mind is racing. Every mistake, every fumble, feels like a nail in my coffin. Finally, the training session ends. I walk towards Kenji's office, my legs feeling like lead. He sits behind his desk, his gaze piercing. Sora, he says, I've heard some disturbing rumors about your activities. Rumors? I ask, trying to sound innocent. Yes, rumors, he says, leaning forward. Rumors that you've been questioning the integrity of our heroes, that you've been using academy resources for unauthorized investigations. I was just trying to be a good cameraman, I stammer. Kenji sighs, running a hand through his graying hair. Sora, you have potential. You have a natural talent for capturing the truth, but you need to learn to focus, to trust the system. These heroes are protecting us, keeping us safe. You shouldn't be trying to tear them down. But what if the system is flawed? I ask, my voice rising in desperation. What if the truth isn't what we think it is? Kenji slams his fist on the desk, making me jump. The truth is that you're letting your emotions cloud your judgment. You're letting your past dictate your actions. You need to let go of your anger, Sora, and focus on your training. But I have evidence, I protest, pulling out my laptop. I can show you. Kenji cuts me off. I don't want to see your evidence, Sora. I trust my own judgment, and my judgment is that you're wasting your time on a fool's errand. He stands up, walking towards me. I'm warning you, Sora. Drop this investigation, focus on your training, or you'll find yourself expelled from the academy. My heart sinks. He's not going to listen. He's not going to believe me. But that's enough, Sora, Kenji says, his voice cold. Now get out of my office. I leave his office, defeated. The weight of the academy's disapproval presses down on me, suffocating me. As I walk back to my dorm, I see Ren smirking at me from across the hallway. He knows. He knew all along that Kenji wouldn't believe me. He raises an eyebrow, a silent challenge in his eyes. I clench my fists, my anger simmering beneath the surface. I won't let him win. I won't let the academy silence me. I will find a way to expose the truth, no matter the cost. But as I sit on the edge of my bed, staring at the flickering neon lights outside my window, a chilling thought occurs to me. What if Kenji is right? What if I am just letting my emotions cloud my judgment? What if I'm wrong? The doubts swirl in my mind, threatening to consume me. I feel alone, isolated, caught between my desire for justice and the fear of failure. And then I see her. A young girl standing across the street, gazing up at the holographic image of Crimson Comet. Her eyes are filled with awe, with unwavering belief. And in that moment, I know that I can't give up. I have to keep fighting, for her, for everyone who deserves to know the truth. Because the unseen angle is always the most important one.